Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. There are some ship updates from Ben Lesnick and Matt Sherman on Spectrum, as well as Oliver East, just pushed start. They had an interview with Sean Tracy, Technical Director of Content, and Eric Kieron Davis, Senior Producer for Star Citizen. There was a lot of info dropped in that interview. I've linked the original article and video, as well as the Spectrum thingamajigs that I talked about a second ago, in the description below. They're worth checking out, but let's do a quick overview and breakdown of all of that. Let's start off with some of the ship stuff they talked about on Spectrum. The new Banu ship. The ship is defensive and is smaller than the Merchantman, so that they can prototype stuff for the Banu and for the Merchantman as well. Currently, Banu ships don't have a specific manufacturer. They refine their ship designs over generations by trading and adapting technology as they need it. Other ships, the 600 is supposed to be the elite range of Origin Jump Works and is described as sleek, luxury, VIP holiday. It should be going on concept sale sometime this year. There was a hint that there may be a smaller reclaimer or salvage ship being developed as well. That just makes sense. Buccaneer as well. So they talk about the top turret. Currently doesn't allow 360-degree fire. It's clamped at the moment, but in the future they should or may change that to allow for more movement as originally intended. So let's have a quick look at that Star Citizen interview with Sean Tracy and Eric Kieron Davis. Clothing. So there are 40 to 50 clothing manufacturers planned at the moment. This ranges from styles like Terra Fashions, casual, Earth, white collar, as well as combat wear and Earth couture culture. Virgil, Clark Defense, or CDS are armor manufacturers. Vaporware produce things like gym wear. Each system or planet will have its own look, feel, and trends. These manufacturers will sell their clothes and wares from stores, but also those stores have a stock or inventory that they can run out of. This will generate orders and missions to produce more blue t-shirts, for example, if they're in high demand. This could be to deliver materials or to literally deliver the clothing or whatever. Lots of things will go on in this dynamic, responsive economy that allow for missions to be sent out, but also get NPCs going off and doing work as well. Currently, there is no shared clothing for aliens, so you can't wear Vandal or Banu gear straight off them if you kill them or whatever. But there may be race kind of influence clothing in the future. Obviously, there are different scales and shapes for these aliens, and they have this problem with even the female and male models. They don't want clothing to look odd on different ones, so some clothing will be kind of gender-based. It's possible that alien shops may sell human clothing if it makes sense to the economy, and we might even see some of this clothing be Banu or Xi'an kind of lines for humans in the future, but it will be obviously human-sized. Rather than straight from a Vandal or whatever. The female rig. They have the female rig, skeleton, and all that sort of jazz. They've had that working and ready for a while now, and it's all working in Squadron 42 at the moment. There are obviously a lot of female characters in Squadron 42. The issues arise for multiplayer and characters as females, as player characters as females. So for AI and NPCs, they don't have to get the first-person animations unified with it. They don't need to be as dynamic as a player in terms of animation sets and logic. They want hitboxes to be as balanced as possible to not allow for exploitation or min-maxing, so they don't want people to just pick females because they have slightly smaller hitboxes. Something like that needs to be avoided, so they're balancing them as best they can. Animations needed to be finalised for that male set as well, so they needed to know what they wanted for the female and feminise them if appropriate, like walking with a slightly different gait or something based on weight and body distribution of weight and all that sort of jazz. So work on female and male models and their animations is incredibly closely related, and some of the female armour sets have been completed now and are pretty cool, and it's a lot further along than I expected. Item System 2.0. So we've talked about this a lot before, but I'll go over what they talked about here. It takes all properties and generalises them as much as possible so that they can apply gameplay components onto them or any item regardless of its entity type. It gives them a lot more flexibility and power to edit, change and combine items instead of having hundreds of entities with tons of code. The system allows them a lot more optimization because of that. especially compared to the old one. Items, allowing items to have their states updated based on distance or whatever parameters they set in a similar way that you could set levels of detail. Item System 2.0 will give first-person shooter weapons modularity and functionality, so scopes, stocks, and mods can be put onto these guns to allow them to have lots of different things, basically a rail system for guns as well. But this obviously propagates over to ship equipment, ship items. They're talking about even having some modular ship weapons as well. That's one of the Knightsbridge Arms range of stuff. On the components of, one of the components of Item System 2.0 is physics and weight. Armor types and weights of loadouts will affect your character's movement speed and stamina eventually. Animation times for certain things like equipping and reloading might remain unaffected based on weight, though. They haven't nailed that down, though. They'll work stuff out. I've got a few videos explaining Item System 2.0 and some of the connected systems in a bit more detail. Link in the description. Atmosphere, flight stuff. So there isn't a separate flight model for atmospheric flight. It's completely seamless between space, air, and ground. It is basically a set of rules they apply to your ship based on the planet you're in. The shape of the ship will affect how it handles in the atmosphere, but it's not due to a different flight model. More because those external variables are different, less drag because it's more aerodynamic, more lift because it has wings, and more like that. It has been previously stated that gravity on planets may affect the way ships fly too. Planetary landing, so excluding some areas because of environmental hazards, because of mission stuff, or over large cities or whatever, they do plan to allow you to freely land where you want to in planets. You could even jump out of your ship and let it crash, kind of power jump out. I'm assuming there might be parachutes or jetpacks and things as well that allow us to not die when we jump out of our ship in atmosphere. We will see landings in the next major release of Star Citizen Alpha. There will be full and dense forests on planets as well, just not in the next release. They are currently working on dense forests, vegetation, and assets for that type of thing, for placement of these to also be procedurally assisted, which is a term they're starting to use a lot more, like a mixture of the procedurally generated planets, but also artists sculpting stuff, and then stuff being intelligently procedurally generated and placed through procedural assistance. EVA, they want to have weak EVA in pretty much all conditions if possible, so that you don't get stuck in places. So flight suits would have weak EVA is the current plan. They also want you to be able to choose what type of EVA that you have based on your equipment, so you could have more powerful jets with lots of boost, or just like the emergency EVA system, allowing you to very slowly move in case you get pulled out an airlock or something, but have a flight suit on. Events, there will be random events in game. Vandal and pirates or whatever might jump you while you're on a mission or minding your own business when you're just out chilling out. Or you may discover things as you move around, wildlife anomalies, or get the drop on a pirate base, whatever. There's a lot of stuff that could just happen, and lots of stuff that will be just happening to you in the verse. Distress signals, all that sort of jazz. Some other info as well. The LA studio is working on 3 ships, I believe, they haven't previously talked about, and we'll get to know about them in the near future. For 3.0, they are still aiming for the original goal of basic professions, like cargo and trading, in fact, and several new ships, as well as the full Stanton system, and targeting all elements that will come with that. Obviously, if other things are also available at the time, if salvage was finished, they'd have that in. If other mechanics are finished, they will have them in. It looks like they're planning to have mining in as well for 3.0, but we will have to wait and see exactly what we get, and do we get a 2.7 interim patch? We don't know yet, maybe. And that's it. So please check out those original videos as Just Push Start. Interview was pretty awesome there, and give that man some support. Remember, every month by commenting on any of my Star Citizen videos, you can win a ship. Through March, that's an Avenger Titan. So tell me what you would like to do job-wise or role-wise in 3.0. Do you like the idea of the 600 series being a small or medium-sized luxury yacht? Is that a sort of ship that you would buy for a concept sale? I'm slightly limited in some of my video creation and streaming capacity while my laptop is out on repair, so please, Asus, fix it quicks. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for those of you that want to go the extra mile. I also do have Patreon and t-shirts with my beautiful egghead face on. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the verse.